Hello everyone, so I know that in a previous video I showed you guys how to implement Bootstrap into your wiki, and so in this one I'm going to just show you a couple really quick, really simple ways to be able to make Bootstrap work by using some of the pre-written code specifically for Bootstrap and just with finding some resources to show you how to use that code. And so I will link the different websites down below, but I'll show you my two favorite. And so the first one is simply just the Bootstrap website. And so the part of the Bootstrap website that I find the most helpful is going into the documentation and then going down to components. And so here they have all of the different components. Let's say we're looking for a nav bar, and then you can just scroll down. It will tell you a little bit about how it works, but then you can look and you can see all of these different example nav bars, and then right underneath they have the sample code for the nav bar. And then if you go to the bottom, it will tell you about changing the color scheme of it and just basically anything that you need to know as far as how to implement it, the basic nav bar, into your website, you can do. And then the next website that I'm going to show you is just the W3 Schools. I use this a lot, and so you can see that this is specifically for Bootstrap 3 tutorials, and they just have all of these different areas that they help you with. But the one that I think is important to know and that I think is really good explanation is of the Bootstrap Grid. And so the Bootstrap Grid is what will make your wiki mobile friendly, because basically you can break down the wiki into a grid, and so it can be up to 12 different spans. And so based on how many columns you have in each span will be the width of the page. So for example, if it's a span 6, then that will be half of the page will be in that span, whereas a span 12 is the full page. But then the important thing to note is the grid classes. And so this defines the 4 different screen sizes: phones, tablets, small laptops, and then laptops and desktops. And then going down further, it will show you actually how the grid is structured. And so you always have to have 12 for every row, which is one very important thing to note. And then the other important thing to note is that you can specify the class that it will work for. And so I'll let you guys go through and read all of this, because I think that's enough explanation to be able to get you started, and then once you start playing around with it, it will start to make more sense. But one last thing that I could mention is that it's just what it says right here. So it's a specific example, but you can see that within it they used call, which is how you start it, and then SM, which is small, and so that is just for the grid class. And then the next number coming after that is how many of the spans it is. So this will divide it into 3 different columns. And so from there you see that it says that it's a 3 equal width column starting at tablets and scaling to large desktops. And so that's because you use the SM, which is the small, which is up here. It starts with tablets and then it goes up all the way. And so for whatever class you specify, it will start at that class and include anything larger. And then if you do use anything smaller, it will just automatically stack the columns. And so this is where if you wouldn't want 3 separate columns next to each other for on a mobile phone. And so this is where it will automatically stack it for you. And so that is where I find the that Bootstrap really becomes more convenient. And so that's all for this video. Be sure to look in the wiki guide for more information and look at the other videos. And if you do use these, then make sure to send us an email so that we know and so that we can add you to our collaborations and get some feedback from you. So thanks for watching. That's all for now. Thanks.